Hi everyone, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for this comic book review for books that came out in this particular week of March 2017. I apologize for being so late again. Lots of shit's been going on. A lot of personal stuff. Been working a lot here lately. My car's broke down. I just recently had to purchase a cheap-ass little flip phone because my phone had broke, and I got a cheap-ass little flip phone. Hopefully that's just a temporary fix until I can find something better later on down the line. And yeah, I just gotta find the time to do this, folks. It's like, I love doing this. Don't get me wrong, I love doing this. It's just sometimes it can feel like a job, and you just got to find the free time to get this stuff done. And on top of that, as I am filming this, I am preparing to take my dog to the vet, so there's more money that I'm going to spend that I don't have. So bleh. Let's get on to the comic books. We're going to start with a catch-up issue, an issue that didn't come out this particular week, but I want to talk about it anyway. We're going to start with, let's see, with Image. We're going to start with I Hate Fairyland number 11. This was fun as hell. Now, I'll admit, this is not the best issue out of the series. No. But I was still thoroughly entertained. It was fun, it was cute, it was screwy. Love it. It's great. Gertrude goes to this Fairyland equivalent of Comic-Con. And just like in real life, you go to meet someone you idolize and it turns out they're a douche. That's great. That alone was entertaining. But of course, you have Scotty Young's tradition of making this uber violent and uber stupid, and it just works. It still works. It's great. I loved it. I'll give it a score, even though it's way late. I'll give it a score of a 4. It was really good. Now let's get on to the books that actually came out this particular week. We're going to start with IDW. Ghostbusters 101, number 1. This is what I was personally waiting for. The next Ghostbusters series. Now that Ghostbusters International is done and over with, let's skip ahead to the 101, in which case we're finally bringing in the new all-female team of the Ghostbusters into the comic books. This is their first appearance in the comics, and I thought this was a very well done introductory issue to this volume of the Ghostbusters. Thought it was done very well. Burnham and everyone else that worked on it, they did a fantastic job. Now, granted, it's not the strongest beginning to a Ghostbusters title, but it did a good job of introducing all the characters. It did a good job of giving us enough exposition to realize where we are now, what we were on, and where we're going later on down the line in the long term. This was very well handled. And instead of, the original Ghostbusters meeting the new Ghostbusters, from another city or years on down the line, we're going with the whole alternate reality shtick again, and I'm all for that. Let's see where you go with this. This was really good. An easy 3.5, close to a 4 out of 5. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, number 52. Twilight comes up with a plan to beat this son of a bitch with using her knowledge of history and her knowledge of anything book related to combat him. And by the end of the issue, Ruh-roh, this character decides to put all the ponies into the books rather than have the books jump out and attack the ponies. I know I just gave that away, but this issue kind of fell a little flat. Not to say it was terrible. It's just, I kind of felt like it could have been better. It's just my honest opinion. I'd give it a 3. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 68. Holy shit. This is still so good. Kevin Eastman, Tom Waltz, you all are still just killing it. Killing it. I'm just loving every minute of this. The continuation of the, war between Agent Bishop and all of mutant kind. This is starting to feel like fucking X-Men shit. Yeah, it's like humans versus mutants. Gee, where did they get that? But yeah, some interesting character development, some interesting plot development is happening in here, and I'm not going to give anything away. But what I will say is that Bishop is no pushover. I'm glad they've kept his character that way. I mean, if you knew the character in the 2003 cartoon series, then you're good to go. Just remember how he was there and just put it into the comics of today, and that's pretty much what you get. Awesome. Love it. It's great. Not much else to say, but that cliffhanger, oh shit. Just good stuff. I love it. It gets a 4 out of 5. Alright, going on, ending the indie stack with Boom Studios. WWE number 3. Yeah, I got the championship belt variant cover. This is the Raw Women's Championship belt cover. Yeah, I swear to you, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This title is doing such a much better job of building up a rivalry between Triple H and Seth Rollins than you see on Monday Night Raw. I mean, it is just really, really well done. After you read these first 3 issues leading up to this issue number 3, it's easy to get behind Seth Rollins and rally against Triple H. It's so easy to do that after you read this, because Triple H is a first-class dickwad in this series. And, the way Seth Rollins is written, the way his character is developed in here, you pretty much have to root for him. Even when he's even when he's confronting guys like Roman Reigns and other babyfaces, you still want to be sympathetic towards Seth Rollins. And for my money, this comic book does a much better job than the damn company does on fucking television. And that's both a good and a bad thing. It's good for this, but it's bad for them. I promise you it's bad for them. And now it looks like we're going to have fucking Finn Balor helping out Seth Rollins. And I'll point out how stupid that shit is when I do a topic video on my own about how stupid that is and how stupid I sounded when I talked about Finn Balor in our WrestleMania 33 review on my Blugoblin X channel. Go over check that out. Cheap plug. But yeah, great issue. Loved it. It was great. And the stuff with Finn Balor at the end, I thought that was okay too. But the main story is what sells it, and it's just really, really good. An easy 4, maybe even a 4.5. Let's move on to Marvel. The Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows, number 5. This was fun. I mean, this was simple, it was fun, it was cute, and it did what it needed to do. It served its purpose. Try to feel like a one-and-done Amazing Spider-Man story, and they succeeded. It was great. Jerry Conway, thank you. I swear, this title feels more true to Amazing Spider-Man than the actual title does with Slott and whoever the hell is working with him on that title. This is great. Seeing Peter Parker as a dad, struggling to, make ends meet, blah, blah, blah. It's what Peter Parker is best known for. The average Joe who struggles to survive, but now he's got a family to provide for, and it makes the struggle much harder, and you just got to root for the guy. It's just great. I love seeing Peter as a dad. It just suits him so well. Mr. Responsibility, taking on the ultimate responsibility. Planning your family's future. That's Amazing Spider-Man. This feels like the Amazing Spider-Man. And it is, indeed, amazing. It gets a 4. Notice I didn't give anything away. You gotta check this. You gotta check this shit out. Steve Rogers, Captain America number 14. Madam Hydra is assembling the new Council of Hydra. We get to see what's going on now and what happened then. You know, in the whole rewriting of Steve's childhood with the Cosmic Cube and everything. Something's building. Something is building. Now, am I going to get the Secret Empire storyline? No, I'm not. I'm not going to get that storyline. For one, I can only afford so much. And two, Marvel with these big event stories, more often than not, they often disappoint. Look at Civil War 2. Look at Fear Itself. Do I even have to say anything about Fear Itself? I mean, Marvel event stories will always have more... I think ever since the first Civil War, later, all the way down to where we are now, it seems like Marvel event stories sometimes will often have more moments that piss you off as opposed to moments that make you anxious to see what's ahead of us in the future for Marvel Comics. And I'm predicting the same thing with this whole Secret Empire shit that's coming out. So, no, I'm not going to get it. But if anybody wants to give me footnotes or cliff notes or what's going on in there, I'll take a listen. But this was good. Things are building up. Elisa Sinclair, what a bitch. Love it. But here we start seeing the foundation of the plots to remove something from Hydra. All I can say is good fucking luck. This gets a 4. Extraordinary X-Men number 20. This is the finale of the series, and the X-Men rescue Cerebra and play a little ball. That's it. But it wasn't terrible. I give it a 3. Spider-Gwen number 18. So, there we go. Yeah, there you go. Spider-Gwen number 18. This is the conclusion to Sitting in a Tree storyline. All I can say is thank God this storyline is over, because this storyline has been up and down, up and down, up and down, and I've been hitting down more than I've been getting up. Yeah, Gwen comes across an alternate reality where her and Miles had been married for 20-something years, and they have 2 children. They live with Peter Porker, the former Spectacular Spider-Ham, and all that stuff. It is what it is. It ends with the whole, we can't let what we see in our future determine our future writes itself and all that stuff. It's very Back to the Future-ish. And it was okay. The whole story overall was fine. The conclusion was just okay, which means this wasn't exactly as successful as a storyline as I wanted it to be, but it did serve its purpose. It was just fine for what it was. If you're looking to get this storyline in trade, I would say I would only recommend it to hardcore Spider-Man related readers. Otherwise, if you're just a casual comic book collector, don't even bother. It is what it is. I give this issue a 3. Ending Marvel with the Unworthy Thor number 5. Ooh. Oh, this was good. This was so good. Jason Aaron. Oh, hell. Oh, man, this was awesome. I'm going to go ahead and give away the big reveal. So, spoiler alert, you have been warned. Odin's son does not take the ultimate hammer. What's really shocking is he has an attempt to try, but he's just like, no. This is not my hammer, so I will not bother. Yeah, it's like he's not even going to bother to try lifting it up. But by the end of the issue, we do see somebody maybe supposedly pick it up, and that's where it ends with coming soon, Tales of the all-new Ultimate Thor, which makes me wonder, are they really pulling Ultimate Thor out of the former Ultimate Universe and sticking him in to this universe? Or is it somebody completely new and somebody completely different getting this hammer? I don't know where they're going with this. I'm really excited to see where they can go. Just great stuff. This was great. A good conclusion. I definitely recommend getting this. Get this in trade if you missed out on these issues. But there's only 5 issues, so check them out. It's well worth your time. It's well worth your money. Give it a read. You'll love it. If you love Thor, you'll love this. It's great. I give it an easy 4. This was the pick of the week for me. Action Comics 976. The conclusion to Superman Reborn. Man. Okay, when New 52 Superman reemerged at the end of the last part of this story, I got worried. For one thing, I was wondering if they were going to shoehorn back in the New 52 Superman to slowly start phasing out the true Superman, our Superman. I was going to worry that they were going to phase him out and bring New 52 back in. And I'm thinking to myself, they wouldn't dare do that, especially since our Superman has a family to provide for, a wife, a son. Do you really want to throw that away because you feel like you just can? And there's always that old saying, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. But what they ended up doing, I'm completely fine with it. I'm fine with it. Not only that, I'm loving it. It's a way for us to get one Superman, one true Superman, make him appear younger, yet retain all the qualities that made our Superman truly work. So for that, I'm grateful. And it was so good, so well put together, and not to mention it leaves the window open for maybe Mxyzptlk to return later down the line. And considering how he's been written here lately, I'd be fine with that too. Almost everything they did in here, I was completely okay with. Now, granted, having both Clark's and both Lois's just merge into, go from 4 to 2, okay. How is this going to affect their characters? It's like they got the young bodies with the old memories. That's fine. As long as it still feels like my traditional Superman, then it's okay. I'm just wondering what's going to affect these characters later on down the line, years to come. Who knows? But it just left me going, yeah. We don't need 2 Clarks. We don't need 2 Loises. Find a way to fix this shit. And they found a way. And I guess if you want me to truly nitpick, it did seem kind of cheesy. But you're dealing with a story involving Mxyzptlk, so what the fuck are you going to do? Great stuff, though. It gets a 4. Batgirl number 9. Barbara continues to struggle with her personal life and her crime-fighting life and everything. And she's trying to find out more about little Cobblepot Jr. here and trying to stay fixated on her mission rather than falling for the guy, and there you go. And the issue culminates at the end with the appearance of Big Daddy himself, Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin. Other than that, it's just I give it a 3 at best. Batman 66 meets Wonder Woman 77, number 3 of 6. The letters there, the numbers in the letters are so tiny. Mark Andreyko and Jeff Parker doing a good job with this. For I gotta say, Paradise Island or Themyscira or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, this was an island full of Amazonian women who sometimes hate the thought of a man setting foot on this island, yet Batman and Robin do it. It's perfectly okay. Come on, enjoy all our food. Let's entertain you. Be our guests. Just make yourselves at home and all that stuff. That just doesn't feel like Paradise Island. It doesn't feel like Themyscira. You know, if a man's going to set foot, if he's chaperoned by a woman, then a man is allowed on the island. However, there would be much more hostility, much more tension, and much more of, you know, icy stares, dirty looks, resentment, all kinds of shit. I didn't see any of that in here. I guess they're trying to go with the cheesiness of the 60s and 70s. Fine. I'm just saying, the Amazons looked a little too inviting. They looked a little too eager to entertain company, if you will. They didn't come off looking horny, for those of you who are thinking that. No. It's just, they were coming off too friendly. When there should have been at least some of them. I'm not saying all the Amazons had to act this way, but some of them should have just been going, what do men know about us women? They should have been. Some of them should have been thinking that. But then, you know, this also is all building up to that fucking awesome cliffhanger that I will not ruin. And it is getting dark on this camera here for some reason. Okay, there we go. But that cliffhanger, I will not ruin it. I will not spoil it. Just pick this up and give it a look. It was good. It was a good cliffhanger to otherwise kind of confusing storytelling and confusing character development. Good stuff, though. I'm not going to just completely trash it. I mean, there was some goodness in this book. I'll give it a 3, close to a 3, between a 3 and a 3.5, somewhere around there. Batman Beyond, number 6. The Coming of Curare. Curare is on the run from the League of Assassins. Meanwhile, you got the stuff with Terry and Dana trying to rekindle their relationship, or at least Terry's trying to. You know, and Dana's trying to call him out on it, say, how can you possibly balance being Terry and being Batman at the same time? Now that more people know about it, and there's more, your personal life as Terry McGinnis is needing more from it than your superhero life as Batman. You know, it's like some of us will need Terry more than we'll need Batman, and Terry's looking at that thinking, maybe you're right, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Barbara and Curare, they're fucked. Just simply put, they're fucked. I mean, of all the times for Terry to decide, no, I'm not going to go out and be Batman today. Of all the times for him to do that, it just happened to be here and now when he's really needed. I've seen scenarios done like that a million times, but sometimes it still works, and for me, it works here. Especially considering where shit could go in the next issue. Good stuff, though. I'll give it a 3.5. Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures number 5. This wraps up stuff between the Turtles and the Batman crew. The stuff with the Mad Hatter in here was great. Loved it. A lot of things were wrapped up, but we still got one more issue to go. And judged on the ads and the solicits for the next issue is going to see them teaming up again, except this time the Turtles are going to cross paths with Batman in his season 4, you know, dreaded Red Sky era, when it was the new Batman Adventures. You know, Tim Drake is now Robin. Dick Grayson will be Nightwing, hopefully. So it's kind of nice to see it's kind of nice to think about, you know, the next time the Turtles see Batman and his crew, it's going to be just a little later on down the line for Batman. And I'm really anxious to see where they go from here. It's just, this was a really well done issue. I kind of think this is another one of those times where it's leaning the love a little more toward Batman than it does the Turtles, but what are you going to do? Not every intellectual property is going to be treated equally, and in this case, I really honestly felt Batman was getting more love than the Turtles. But it was still good for what it was. I'll give it a 4. Detective Comics number 953. This whole League of Shadows thing. The threat is real. You know, Batwoman's father being deathly afraid of them and everything. And I'm just gonna say one thing. That cover, yeah. The stuff with Lady Shiva, God, what a bitch. Awesome book. It gets a 4. The Flash, number 19, the next part of Sins of the Father. We get some good stuff with Captain Boomerang, and of course we figure out what was the fate of Wally's father, Daniel West, the new 52 Reverse Flash. We learn what the fate was of him, and I guess you can say it's kind of like backstory or exposition, if you will. If you will, baby. But yeah, and then after we figure out what happened to Daniel, we get 2 big reveals in this issue. Not 1, but 2. And I'm not going to give away either one of them. Just pick this book up and enjoy it. This was really good. Another easy 3.5, close to a 4. It was really good. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, number 17. I kind of got mixed feelings on this. Notice that cover. That is legit. Kyle Rayner is a Green Lantern again. And not only that, he's back in his classic Green Lantern uniform. That's fine. But what I'm kind of mixed on is how we got to that point. And I'm not going to give it away. But how we got to that point, it just left me wondering, okay, where are you going with this? Why the hell did you do it? And will we ever come to a point in the story, or will we ever come to a point in the plot where we could actually go back to that? Yeah, it's just one of those things where, you know, Kyle's in the middle of doing something, and then, what the fuck happened? And then we get to this. It's just one of those things. The scenes with Guy Gardner, they were great. I mean, my respect for that character has gone up tremendously since he beat the shit out of Arkillo without any rings. I mean, this is great. I mean, you will respect the shit out of Guy Gardner now, I promise you. But yeah, a good issue, very fun, but it's just still kind of mixed on this and how we got to it. That's all I'll say. 3.5. Teen Titans number 6. The Rise of Aqualad, Part 1. Now, I will give one thing away. Aqualad has not joined the team yet by the end of this issue. But, it's not to say this issue was bad, it just kind of felt average. It just kind of felt above average, but nowhere near great. It's just another one of those things. And this is a Teen Titans book. I've always loved Teen Titans. I've always had a special place in my heart for the Titans, and to see it especially pains me when an issue of Teen Titans just feels kind of there. You know, it's not bad, but then again, it's not great. So, what do you do? It's another one of those situations where it is what it is. But I will say that cliffhanger was damn awesome. I'll say that. And it means that the cliffhanger was probably the best part of the issue, which means that getting to that point was a bit of a drag. But once we got there, I'm like, whoa, okay, good, okay, you got my attention now. Where are you going from there? Not bad, but then again, like I said, not great. I'll give it a 3. We're ending with Wonder Woman number 19. Rucka, Sharp. This was good. Well, Diana's on the verge of healing. You know, she's released herself from the mental institution and all that stuff. You know, getting some of the gang back together. Meanwhile, you know, Barbara Minerva, a.k.a. Cheetah, is in deep shit, and it's just more of Greg Rucka's great writing and great development of this character, you know, and it culminates by the end of the issue with, it's like, was Diana jumping the gun a little bit, releasing herself from the hospital? It was one of those things where when I saw what I saw at the end of the issue, it made me think, was Diana jumping the gun? Was she truly ready to get back to work, or is she just simply slipping? I don't know. It was just one of those kinds of moments where I'm going, normally that doesn't happen, but considering the circumstances of what Diana's been going through, it's not really a shocker. It's just one of those kinds of moments, for at least for me, it just makes me think. It doesn't make me gasp. It doesn't make me worry. It just makes me want to think about it. I'm serious. Literally think about it. It's like, okay, how can you possibly explain how that happened? I ask myself that. And sometimes I shouldn't have to do that. But in this case, it's okay that this happened. I mean, I'm not talking about the moment in here. It's okay that the comic made me think, because you keep dwelling on something. It means that it kept your attention. It's got your focus. Maybe in some strange ways that's a success. I don't know. But this was definitely an odd issue, but Rucka still did a good job with this. I'll give it a 3.5. Alright, that's it for this review, everybody. I want to thank y'all for watching, and thanks for having the patience to keep putting up with this loudmouth motherfucker. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't done it already. Check out Blugoblin X. I just did a WrestleMania 33 review with Jennifer. I hope you all will enjoy it. Don't forget Arkham Asylum Studio. We got some stuff planned for that, and we just got to find the time to do that stuff. Look for me here on YouTube, or check me out on Twitter at Blugoblin01. Cheap plug. Shout outs to my bros as always in the description. You know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hail Hydra. See y'all later. Take care.